Hmm. I saw War of the Rohirrim. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't really know. I haven't read the book. I saw War of the Rohirrim, and oh my goodness, that movie is an A+ for me. I'm just saying that right off the bat. It's an A+ for me. There's a line in that movie. There will be no peace, Helm Hammer Hand. When that line gets said, peace from that point on, it won't be seen in a long time. This movie, it tells the story of Helm Hammerhand, the king of, I think, a place in Rohan. I think it's Rohan or Gondor. I can't remember which one, but it tells the story of King Helm and his daughter Hera. Mostly his daughter Hera. That's the redhead you see on the front. And usually nowadays they come with these female characters, and it's more along the lines of, hey, women can do it too, stick it to the man, and yeah, Shiro. But Hera's not really one of those people. Hera is more of a Lagartha type. I think everybody would like a female hero like that, a female protagonist like Hera. She was good. She is a good female protagonist. And speaking of good female protagonists, she's like Aowen. Me personally, I don't think she's as cool as Aowen, but that's a really high standard. And speaking of Aowen, that's who the narrator is. Narrator in the beginning of the movie, kind of like when you hear in Lord of the Rings, narration coming from Galadriel. That's what we get here with Aowen. And man, it's so great to hear Aowen again. It's so great to hear her again. That's a good chick. That is a show enough good female protagonist. That's how you supposed to do a female protagonist, like Aowen. That was great. And they did it again in this movie with Hera. She is a tomboyish like daughter of the king. I guess the king doesn't really see her as a potential future for the throne because, she's a girl. So he just lets her do whatever she wants to do, and she just wants to wander out, be an adventurer, and just see the land, and I guess meet new people. And that's what she does. And everybody knows her. She travels the land, and the king just lets it happen. But it's kind of it's about two biblical themes that kind of creep up in there a little bit if you really think about it. The whole uh love of money thing that creeps in, and pride before the fall. That's one of the themes in this movie too. Now the whole love of money thing, most people think that it's talking about, cash or coins or stuff like that, but really the scriptures talking about the love of gain, the constant, hunger for want, and the constant hunger for gain, and I want more, 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 more. It's the root of all evil. It's the start of all wars. I want this girl. I want this land. I want this resource. The hunger for want, and I want this and I need this and this is mine now. The love of gain is the root of all evil. And that kind of plays out in this movie. The what was the other? Yep, the king that comes to the that comes to King Hammerhand, King Freka, Freca, however you say his name, King Freka. He comes to King Helm and tries to unite the kingdoms through marriage. So he's coming with his son, Wolf, not to be confused with Beowulf. Beowulf is courageous, and his King Freka's son has no qualities of Beowulf. He, no, he ain't got the nuts to be compared to somebody like Beowulf. No, he's just Wolf. Wolf. Wulf. King Freka's son. He comes to King Helm and tries to get his son to marry his daughter to unite their kingdoms. Now, that would be good, but King Helm is a good king. He's a warrior king, and he's also wise. So he's wise enough to know how to rule his kingdom, and he's wise enough to see into the hearts of men, and he saw in Freka's heart the love of gain. He didn't want peace. He didn't want unity. So when he's coming to unify the lands, he wants the throne. And King Helm saw that. And so, of course, he tried to make it into oh, you think your kingdom's better than us, and you're trying to look down on us. You're looking down on me and my son, like we ain't been through it with you in all these wars and stuff. So you saying your daughter's better than my son. And he makes a scene in front of everybody, and King Helm says, okay, I don't want to insult you. A king doesn't fight in his halls. So let's take it outside. And they take it outside. And King Helm handled business like he's supposed to. But I don't really know what happened. Maybe Freka has a glass jaw. Or maybe King Helm is stronger than he even realizes. But he tries to step to King Helm and he gets dealt with like permanently. And that's where the story comes in. Right in front of his son, King Freka is dead. Wolf attacks King Helm, but you're not ready for it. And so he says, stay down while you still got breath in your body. And Wolf wastes that breath by threatening King Helm and saying, I'm going to get you back for this. And that's basically the story of the movie. Wolf getting revenge for his father. He can't see that his father was trying to steal a kingdom. He can't see that. All he's seeing is that his father got killed by King Helm. Now it's time for King Helm and all of his progeny to go too. King Helm needs to feel how I'm feeling. And Wolf don't want to stop until he does. But man, I tell you, my favorite part of the movie. Well, first, before I get to that, the setting of the movie is great. it's great. Oh my goodness, it's like looking at Breath of the Wild from Zelda or something like that. It's like looking at Breath of the Wild. It's very scenic. You got really lush green lands. You got giant eagles. You got this fantasy setting. You got this whole fantastical world out, and it even changes to seasons where even the snow look. It kind of the snow is so heavy and the animation is so good that you almost feel it yourself. It's pretty good. They did a good job on the setting with the winter and the summer and all that other stuff. It was good. The setting is great. The kingdom of Rohan, you see the whole splendor of it all. You see the halls of the king. That looks good too. You see where they venture off to. That was shown pretty well. And all the animals and the people, they were animated well. Whoever did the artistry on that, they did a great job. Which which brings me to the very few things wrong I find in a movie. It was only two things, and it's pretty minor, but I'm just gonna throw it out right now. Um, I I don't. It's not that serious, but I don't think they should have went the anime route. It's just I don't sometimes anime doesn't quite make me feel what I'm supposed to feel. And when it comes to Lord of the Rings, I'm so used to feeling a certain type of way. I'm so used to seeing the movies and how gritty and all that is that I don't feel that when it's shown through the lens of anime. Now, there are some animation that is kind of American styled, like Berserk. Now, that kind of animation, that would have worked. But no, they went the typical anime route, and it's seen through the typical anime route. And that's good. That's good. Hey, there's nothing really wrong with it. It looks good. Anime looks good, but I feel like they could have went a different route with that and did more, I guess, cartoon American styled animation, and I would have felt it more with that kind of style of animation. That's just what I think. Maybe other people feel it a different type of way, but really, in all honesty, it's minor anyway, so it doesn't matter. And the other thing I found wrong with it, uh, oh yeah, the Eagles, of course, the Eagles showing up late as always. Now I'm always gonna see that as a problem, but that's that's so small. It may as well not even be. It may as well not even be a cut against the movie. So that's pretty much the only thing that's bad about the movie. Now, my second favorite part of the movie, as I've already said, is Aowen's narration. Aowen is a super bad chick, and I'm kind of glad to hear her come back with her voice as a narration for this world famous shield maiden for that land, and it's just so good to hear her voice again. I'm sorry, Miranda Otto, she did a really good character. I'm never gonna say anything bad against Aowen. I'm not. That woman's perfect. Aowen's great. She is perfect. Now that's my second favorite part of the movie. But oh my goodness gracious, my favorite part. My favorite part of this movie is the king. King Helm. That guy's amazing. I didn't know who he was before because I never read the books. I only know about the movie. I only know about the movie, and he only gets mentioned by name in the movies. So I don't know what to go off of on that. All I hear is him as a rallying cry. You know, when King Theoden says, uh, let the horn of Helm Hammerhand sound in the deep one last time. Okay, well, you hear that in the movie and it sounds pretty cool. The music is going, and yeah, you're pretty excited. But it's not until you see this movie, it's not until you see what Helm Hammerhand is all about, how he ruled, and how his kingdom looked at him, that you see what kind of man he is. And you see this movie, you see what kind of man Helm is. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it brings a whole different type of weight to let the horn of Helm Hammerhand sound in the deep one last time. Now that phrase has a whole different type of weight to it. It's got a whole different type of weight to it now that you know who King Helm Hammerhand is. Now that I'm seeing this movie, you say that name as a rallying cry, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight now. Okay, now I know who he is. Now I know what he sacrificed for his kingdom. Now I know what kind of person he is, what type of man he is. Yeah, okay, you say his name and I'm psyched too. I'm ready to take off some heads too. You say I'm not afraid of nobody now. I'm I'm not afraid of the One Ring. I'm not afraid of Saruman. I'm not afraid of Sora. I'm not afraid of nobody. If you say that as a rallying cry, no, because I know who the king is. I know how strong and how brave this guy is, and now I feel safe. I I feel like I can take on any battle if you say his name now. Man, that guy was my favorite part of the movie. He is amazing. You see how he represents. That's how a king is supposed to be. That's how you supposed to be. He was a great king. And yeah, he was inspirational. Man, he was good. That was by far my favorite part of the movie. That movie was done so well. The pacing of the story, it was good. You get a sense of how the family got along. You get a sense of how the story got to be the way it was, how we got here, how this revenge all started. You get a little bit of backstory of how the protagonist knows the antagonist from childhood. Get some familiarity when you get caught up to today's time. By the time you watching the movie, you get all that. It's good pacing of the movie. The music is good. It's very adventurous and heroic, and it gets you going. It's very Lord of the Rings. It's pretty Lord of the Rings, even though it's anime. No, you're not missing uh you're not missing anything. You feel that it's Lord of the Rings. They represented it pretty well with the music and the adventure and the fighting. Yeah, it's represented pretty well. The protagonist, like I said, she's good. She's not just a stick it to the men female shero. She's not that. She's a legit good well explained, well fleshed out character. I like her. I don't mind her at all. I think she's great. I would have followed her into battle. The king, he realized how great she was by the end of it all. She's great. Uh, even the antagonist, I kind of understand where he's coming from. I know he's being ridiculous, but you witness your father's death right in front of you. You're not trying to hear reason. You're not trying to hear reason. You killed my dad. Not everybody got to go. Your whole bloodline got to go. So setting was good, music was good, the pacing was good, uh, everything was top notch. The only real thing I got against it is it being anime, and that's a small slate. So that's just me personally on what I thought. Uh, what else? Am I missing anything? R.I.P. to Christopher Lee. R.I.P. to him. They did a taping of his voice for the character of Saruman. So yeah, R.I.P. to him. He was a great actor. And yeah, that's a big vacuum in the world of voice acting and live acting, period. So yeah, R.I.P. to him. But man, the movie Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim, A plus. A plus for me. That movie got me going, and it's very inspiring. If you like Lord of the Rings, yeah, you're gonna like this too. So yeah, A plus for me. If you want to see this movie, I am highly recommending it. Go out as soon as humanly possible and go watch the movie. Take the family with you too. It's great.